also now talk about the other big story that we're tracking. The Enforcement Directorate has resumed their search at the Herald House after unsealing the Young Indian office in the national capital. Senior Congress leader Mallikarjun Kharge is overseeing these searches. Now, speaking out about the National Herald scam in which both him and his mother, Congress President Sonia Gandhi, have been questioned by the ED, Congress MP Rahul Gandhi directly hit out at the Prime Minister and Home Minister Amit Shah, saying that the Congress will continue to fight against their attempts to go against democracy.
देखिए ये पूरा इंटिमिडेशन का अटेम्प्ट है। ये सोचते हैं कि थोड़ा सा मतलब प्रेशर डाल के हमें चुप कर देंगे, चुप नहीं होने वाले। जो इस देश में नरेंद्र मोदी जी, अमित शाह जी कर रहे हैं लोकतंत्र के खिलाफ, उसके खिलाफ हम खड़े रहेंगे, चाहिए कुछ भी कर।
आप डरने वाले नहीं?
ना, बिल्कुल नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं डरने वाले। मोदी से तो मैं मतलब बिल्कुल नहीं डरता।
और सर, आपको जिस तरह से कल एआईसीसी मुख्यालय को भी बैरिकेड किया गया,
सच्चाई को बैरिकेड नहीं करा जाता।
Let me also now bring in my colleague Siddhant Mishra has been tracking all these developments for us. He's joining us from outside the Herald House here in the national capital. Siddhant, what is happening as of now? Are the ED officers still there?
Well, yes, ED teams are inside, and interestingly, Mr. Kharge is still inside. Basically, this time around, the searches are going on, and we have been told that it is going to be a concluding search. And last time when ED teams were here, Mallikarjun Kharge, who happens to be the principal authority officer of Young Indian, was not present, and this is perhaps the reason that ED had to leave the raid in between and had to close the office completely and put up the notice that nobody is allowed inside the office, and after which Mr. Kharge was summoned for today at around 12:30. So from 12:30 in the afternoon, the raids are still underway. There are 4 to 5 Enforcement Directorate officers inside along with Mr. Kharge and his personal staff. Now there is some movement. We can expect Mr. Kharge to walk out in some time from now. We have been told that there is a possibility of raids coming to an end, and as today is the concluding day, after which there will not be any raid at Herald House. Also, premises linked to this case have been raided on multiple occasions. The statements of Gandhis, Mallikarjun Kharge and Pawan Bansal have been recorded. In fact, today Enforcement Directorate sources are telling us that they have also come across some hawala transactions based out of shell companies in Kolkata and Mumbai. So, Enforcement Directorate is possibly looking into that angle as well. Also, ED is not satisfied with the reply that has been given by Gandhis to Enforcement Directorate when they say that it was Motilal Vora responsible for the decisions of Young Indian and AJL. ED is not satisfied with this reply. Also, when they say that the company was set up under Section 25, which means it is a NGO, and nobody, no individual can take benefit from the assets that have been acquired. So, in fact, ED is not satisfied with this statement, and ED is also looking into the matter because 87 lakh rupees per month is a rental price of the premises that is being used at Herald House, where I'm reporting from. So there's a TCS office and Passport Seva Kendra. So they both combinedly pay 87 lakh per month. So in fact, Amit Malviya from BJP has also tweeted this particular amount. So it is also looking into who is the recipient of this amount, and since when it is going on, and if they are saying that there is no personal benefit that has been taken, then who is utilizing this money?
Absolutely. So those are many questions that still remain unanswered, Siddhant. I'll request you to stay on with us. Our colleague Ashish Merishi also now joining us on the broadcast, and he tracks developments of the Enforcement Directorate very, very closely. Ashish, just for the benefit of our viewers, talk to us about what you're picking up by the means of sources. Can we see some sort of seizures today as far as the Herald House is concerned? And more importantly, why is AGL under the scanner?
So
recent raids, there have been questions on why suddenly after 10 years the Enforcement Directorate decides to basically raid so many locations associated with Associated General. Now, what we have been able to find out from our sources is that there are at least 5 to 6 companies, that is what we can say, that there are 5 to 6 companies through which money has landed into the accounts of Associated General. Now, my sources reveal that these are shell companies through which the money has landed into the Associated General, and that is why they were raided. Now, what we have been told is that people who had basically who are Hawala operators, or you can say data entry operators, or you can say people who provide basically entry for transactions, those people are shortly going to be summoned. As far as Associated General's, as far as Young Indian office being sealed yesterday, I have been told by my sources that Kharge did not join the investigation despite 2 requests that were sent on mail and 1 verbal request when he was present in the evening. But now, since he has joined, searches are still continuing, and once the searches will be over, we can maybe give some information if any important documents or anything else has been seized by the Enforcement Directorate or not.
Ashish, quickly, I also want to understand from you on another aspect. The Congress, as you rightly pointed out, has been saying that this is an old case. In the last 8 years, new evidence hasn't come to light as far as the agency is concerned. What are sources within the ED telling you? Are they hopeful, reaching towards any sort of closure of this case is concerned?
So, that is the crux of the matter, that they have to basically file a charge sheet. So, the Enforcement Directorate registered a case only after the court decided that it deserves the entire investigation. Basically, if you remember, the complaint was basically filed by Subramanian Swamy, and on his complaint, it was decided that yes, there should be an FIR, or you can say an ECIR should be registered. And on basis of that, once the court took cognizance, the Enforcement Directorate registered an ECIR. But then ultimately, if you see, though we can see so much of hue and cry on people like Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi being summoned, but here we have to realize the fact that they all are on bail. And ultimately, all people who have been named as an accused into the matter, they have to be questioned before a charge sheet has to be filed. So that this is the process that once the case comes to conclusion only in the court, and the investigative agency basically supports the court in investigation. So here they are going to file a charge sheet once all the investigation is complete. Yesterday's searches were also a part of that only.
Okay, Ashish, Merishi and Siddhant, thanks a lot for getting us all those details. Let's also now listen into some political reactions.
अगर कुछ किया नहीं है तो इतना डर क्यों है कांग्रेस के कार्यकर्ताओं में, कांग्रेस के बड़े नेताओं में, और खास करके सबका एक ही कवायद है, सबकी कवायद है कि किस प्रकार से एक ही परिवार के लिए हम आंदोलन करें, एक परिवार को कैसे बचाया जाए।
ये तो एक पॉलिटिकल वेंडेटा की बात है, और जो बीजेपी के विरोधी दल है उन दलों को खत्म करने की कोशिश वो कर रहे हैं।